Hi guys, this is Candace with Astrologer.com, and I'm bringing you your full moon in Cancer highlights. I hope everybody's doing well. I find that between Mercury going direct and I think just already kind of starting to come up on this full moon, I'm already feeling it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely feeling it. And there's a lot of really great things that are going to be happening as a result of this full moon. Today I have it set up, so I'm going to go back and forth and I'm going to take a look so I can see some of your guys' comments, and as I get the chance, I'll chime in and hopefully pull some cards maybe for you guys at the end and answer some questions. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's just because I'm trying to keep up with both. But thank you guys for tuning in. We do have this Cancer full moon that's going to be showing up, and it's going to be here on January 12th at 22 degrees Cancer, and it's going to be at 3:33 a.m. Pacific time. I'm usually not one to get too big into numerology, but I definitely think that there is a bigger energy at play that's kind of helping us get through this full moon. 333, so that's a master number. It has to do with the Trinity. It has to do with the mind, body, the spirit coming together and empowerment. So that's one of the first things that really kind of really made me kind of go bug-eyed and look at this and go, oh my goodness, there's, spirit is working with us with this moon. And let me tell you guys, it's going to be an intense one. There's no way to candy coat it. It's going to be something that we're going to have to be working through for just a couple days. So just be positive. It will be coming. We're going to be fine. But yes, January 12th, 22 degrees Cancer. So we know we've been watching some of the planets that have been moving, especially in the cardinal signs of Capricorn, where we have Pluto, Jupiter, where we have, Jupiter in Libra, and Uranus that's in Aries. So all of these are kind of at play here with this Grand Cross. I mean, that's the big thing that I'm looking at. Especially those of you guys who are cardinal signs, whether be that your ascendant or your moon or your sun, we're looking at the later degree of what's going on here, especially in regards to like 17 to 22 degrees of those cardinal signs. So pay attention, guys. If you have a personal planet there will be a little bit of energy that's expanding and asking you to change. Well, with any Cancer full moon, I feel like any full moon, but the Cancer full moon, there definitely is quite a bit of emotions running high. And we have to acknowledge that, because the one thing I want you guys to incorporate to ask you guys to do to incorporate is to be conscious and be aware of your emotions and be aware of your feelings at that time. It's incredibly important for you guys to be acknowledging what's coming up and what you're feeling, and really, sorry guys, you get back. Is that better? Let me go ahead and let me do that. Let me know if that's better. Still nothing. Sorry guys. Can you guys hear better? I hope so. Might have been my headphones that might have been echoing a little bit, so I'm hoping you guys can hear a little bit better. But we're gonna thank you guys, thank you Ash and Pins, awesome. Let me backtrack a little bit. So those of you guys who heard me in the beginning, yes, cardinal signs are going to be very, very, very affected, especially in the degrees from 17 to 22 degrees. So Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, we're seeing this cross that's coming, and it's building, and it's asking us to change. So what does this mean? Emotions are full. We're going to be sensitive. We're going to feel a little vulnerable. I see some of you guys that are saying, you're having headaches or you're having body aches. Yeah, you're going to definitely be feeling that the next couple days until we get through this, especially if you've got something that's affecting a cardinal sign on your ascendant or on your moon. I'm feeling it too, guys. So you're not alone. We're all starting to kind of build. And I think part of this is also the collective consciousness starts to pick up on things that are changing, and we all get affected by this, which leads me into talking about empaths. You guys, it's so important for you to really be conscious and aware of what's your feelings versus what somebody else's feelings are. because it's very possible to be picking that up in such a more magnified way right now. My answer is salt baths. You know, that's one of the better things that you can do, is keep up with those salt baths and make sure that you're really clearing it. Remember that, you know, Cancer is a water sign and it's so emotional. And I feel that especially as the ruler of the 4th house, this may be where we shy away from things. And we cannot shy away from what we're feeling. We cannot shy away from our emotions right now. Emotional security is definitely a big theme here. And I'm seeing so many topics of abandonment issues that are coming up that will be addressing throughout this week, that we are going to be seeing in so many different ways. I'm seeing all of you guys as you're talking. I'm going back and forth. Yes, we're all going to be feeling it, but Libras and Cancers and Capricorns and Aries are going to see it too. We've got 4 planets that are in Pisces right now, okay? So we have Venus, Mars, Neptune, and Chiron. And we've also got these 2 of Venus coming in, and Neptune and Mars being super close. And it can be so dreamy, it can be so beautiful, and it can be romantic. But it also can be a recipe for disaster, because I think this could be creating some themes of illusions with where we stand in our partnerships. And so I don't want to get too much into that yet. I want to stay focused with us, because if Cancer is what our emotional self and our emotional body needs, we're looking at the opposition of still, we have the sun that's in Capricorn. We have Pluto that's in Capricorn. We're going to see Mercury make its way back into Capricorn here shortly, in just a couple days. It's just like a degree or 2 away. But still, it's so much about, what do I need? How am I nurturing myself? And Jupiter in Libra is certainly putting the heat on us, so to say, and wanting to, I think, find partnership and wanting to find something to hold on to. And so it's important to really ground yourself right now and not feel like you need to be grasping onto relationships or grasping onto old partnerships that aren't working. And this isn't just romantic. We have seen the themes of this from this most previous Mercury retrograde involving Pluto and Mercury and the sun. That's just digging up all of the stuff that we need to be conscious and aware of and process at the time of this full moon. So you're going to feel vulnerable. It happens. Squares are tense energy, but the square has to happen in order to release. It's like a pressure chamber, and it keeps happening and it keeps happening and it grows until it finally goes and it opens up. We have the opportunity during this full moon to really crack open emotionally and be vulnerable, but do it in a way where you're taking a stand and you're honoring yourself and your own needs. Because let me tell you something, guys, Uranus that's in Aries is bringing up with the square all of me, what do I need? What is the square? So it's going on between all of the cardinal planets, you guys. I'm gonna get into it. Give me just a second. But also, prior to this happening, we just saw that, you know, Pluto and the sun met. So that's power struggles. That's also where we're taking our power back. And then we see Uranus building into a square with the sun up until we get to this full moon. So it's all coming full circle. It's actually taking you step by step, allowing you to become conscious of where we have our own insecurities, or where we're feeling abandoned, or where there's just shadow self parts of ourself that we're dealing with, because it's there. We're seeing it. We got to see it with some of the aspects with Chiron around the holidays. We got to see it again on New Year's as we started to see Mars work its way into Pisces, and it was bringing up topics of what's deep in our very, very, very hidden subconscious self. So it's just continuing to happen. So that's why when I saw, thank you guys, you guys are so funny, making me crack up. When I saw the 333, I was really stoked, because I was like, okay, finally, we're getting some acknowledgement here where it's really helping us and guiding us, and knowing that sometimes, man, it gets the darkest before the dawn. And I see the potential with this full moon. Moving forward, also Uranus is disrupting things like majorly. So those of you guys who have some Aries placement, you're going to be feeling it. You're going to see that with the squares going on with that, it's a square and an opposition to Jupiter. So how do we honor the crazy, unpredictable, almost shift of what Uranus is bringing to Aries in our personal selves through our partnerships? And I can see how we're wanting to break out of things, or we're feeling like, oh my gosh, I want a relationship, I want a partnership, I want to commit to this person or commit to this situation. However, I don't necessarily know if I can do that. And you're going to feel that there are people who may be too smothering right now. You're going to feel people who may be not enough and they're not stepping up. But you have to really keep yourself in alignment and hold yourself accountable for, where is this bringing up issues from your past? Where is it bringing up issues? Remember, Cancer is the home. That's mommy issues. That's family issues. That's deep-seated things. And I can see that, plus the planets in Pisces. It's like, guys, please don't go drink your problems away, because you could easily do that. Easily. And I don't want to see people abusing drugs and abusing alcohol and doing things because they're not wanting to be present with their emotions. So it's very important to hold yourself on that and to be getting exactly, you want to get nourishment in the proper ways. You don't want to be getting it in ways where you're self-sabotaging. Moving forward, we've got Mercury opposing this moon. That's the big thing. Jupiter, like I said, opposing Uranus. Venus conjunct Neptune can be so beautiful and it can be so dreamy, but it also can represent things where we're buying into our own emotions. No, don't go drinking. I see you guys. Don't go drinking. Where you're buying into your emotions and wanting to create these fantasies about something that may not necessarily be happening. So I feel like we're going to get so much more emotional clarity at the end of this. And it's going to get a lot easier. Remember, with the moon, we have the working period of really a couple of days prior, the day of, and the day after. So it's certainly going to be an emotional buildup just in general. Yeah, waking up at 333, I see that. You're definitely kind of tuning into the consciousness and aware of what's going on. He's my assistant. He'll come and go. But the big thing also that I'm seeing with this is it's time for serious mental effort. You gotta pull apart all of the crap and all of the garbage and all of the stuff that's distracting you. And it can be relationships, it can be power trips, it can be things where you're giving your power away. This is an excellent time with these planets in the 12th, Pisces, and these planets that are going through the 4th, even though they're squaring work, where you need to take some emotional downtime. You guys have to be taking care of your emotional selves. Otherwise, how are you going to be present in relationships? How are you going to be present in your career? Where can you take a step back and realize it's okay to say, I need a minute. It's okay to tell people how you're feeling. It may not be best to do it on the moon. You may see it cultivate right around the day after, but still, full moons are going to bring dramatic conclusions in general. So it's important to stay grounded during this, especially with all these planets that are kind of more so going through some water signs. There is positive sides to this, though, okay? So I just want to say there are positive sides to this. Mercury is direct, thank God, because it's been a bit of a bumpy retrograde. I don't know about you guys, but man, it sure has. Especially with some of the interactions that we were having with Pluto and with the Sun. I think definitely moving forward, although we are in a shadow period still for another couple of days, we're great. Yeah, somebody just mentioned something. All planets are direct. I mean, this happens. It's not a super rare event, but it happens. But we have a very short period of time. I was looking at that the other day online. I believe, I want to say it's just until around the beginning of February. Don't quote me on that, but I know for sure. With everything moving forward, this is a positive sign for making positive changes and seeing open energy where the universe supports you and supports what you're doing. So there's that. Days ago, like I said, Pluto and the Sun came together, which allowed you to take your power back. So you're no longer allowing yourself to give it away. The retrograde has totally given you the idea where there are blocks in terms of you standing up for yourself. Direct means it's no longer going retrograde. Somebody was asking, so it's no longer going backwards. It's now stationed direct, and then it's going to move forward. The big thing I want to talk to you guys about this moon also is to be conscious. Don't project and don't react. Be an actor, not a reactor. That's something that somebody's always telling me because, well, I like to get Scorpio every once in a while, but be an actor, not a reactor. Do not allow yourself to get so caught up in how other people are treating you during this moon that you somehow think that it has something to do with you. You're gonna have people that are just taking stuff out on you unintentionally. You're gonna have, that's why I went back and I started with saying we're gonna see so many topics of abandonment and abandonment issues that you gotta really be in alignment with yourself so you're not taking the slack when it is projected onto you potentially. We're going to be seeing that, you know, Cancer, I feel like Cancer has an excellent memory and they don't forget things. And so with this moon, there is the element of surprise. There is the potential for things to be coming up from the past that are surfacing that we never thought would come back up again, or people may be bringing things to your attention that you may have thought were squashed, but they're not necessarily squashed. Remember, we still are in the shadow period, so we're still dealing with some stuff coming up from the past, but these squares are making us be held accountable and acknowledge where the issues are and work through them so we're not misplacing our anxieties and we're not misplacing our issues, so we're able to work in a more healthy way with others in general. So I'm calling this like a major cleaning out the closet full moon. That's definitely what's going to be going on. You'll see it in just a couple days. The other thing is there are no air signs in the sky other than Jupiter in Libra. Now remember, Jupiter is going to magnify anything that we're looking at or whatever sign that it's in. So we're going to see so much more coming up about relationships. But other than that, there is definitely a lot more of us being in our own heads and not necessarily being able to communicate as clearly as we would like to. So yeah, definitely emotionally troublesome. Those of you guys who are asking questions, I'll talk a little bit about the numerology. Don't worry, just hold tight. The next thing, the Cardinal Cross. Okay, so these are those big squares that are going to be happening between all of the cardinal signs. It's setting the theme for 2017 for some of the cardinal placements, just initiating change and helping us kind of get a move on. Somebody said to me earlier, and I loved it, she said, it's like the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune being coming in and giving you an opportunity, it's a twist of fate. It may deliver some emotional endings. It may bring up some things that you don't necessarily want to deal with, that you want to shy away from. The Cancer energy has a tendency to want to keep to itself and want to nurture oneself, but also not always acknowledge things. So see this as an opportunity to move forward. And to clear out the stuff that needs to be cleared out. You guys have to remember, it's giving you the opportunity to have new beginnings. And it's so emotional. It really, really, really is. How do we get through this? Okay, it's in a water sign. I would recommend taking baths. I think that's probably one of the better things that you guys could be doing, to be really honest with you. Take a salt bath. You also can work with either herbs or essential oils that are associated with the moon. That would be like jasmine or eucalyptus or even lily. All of these things can either be kept in the home. You can put it in an air diffuser. You can keep some of the herbs with you. It'll be really helpful getting through some of this stuff to help stay emotionally grounded. The good news is with some of this energy, we have the potential to really do a lot of our emotional clearing in the dream state. So when we talked about Mars going into Pisces, it's helping us work out some of this stuff in our subconscious state. So while we're sleeping or while we're dreaming, you guys may see a lot of colorful dreams that are going to be happening at this time. I always recommend write it down, write it down, write it down. Watch the drinking and the drug use. Once again, Jupiter also will be sextiling Saturn, which is really implementing this positive energy change. It's basically saying, yes, we're going to crack things open, but it's to learn lessons. And then we have a 2-degree Saturn-Uranus trine at the time of this moon, or just shortly after, I believe. This basically means karmic matters are being handled. So it's like you guys are going to see things that are going to end. I'm not going to make any comment on the drug use. I'm just going to tell you guys not to overindulge. I'm not going to say anything. But basically what's coming up at this time has to be happening, okay? Whatever's meant to happen will happen, regardless of how you feel. And I think the moon squaring Jupiter is really backing that up. I think it's reminding us that we have to be flexible. We have to go with the flow. In a way, I love astrology because I feel like it's so predictive, and it's so, even though it has room for, for change, there's always room for change. I think it's really showing us that with this full moon, there is an unexpected side to this, that these things are going to be happening and they're going to be shifting. That's really reminding us that whatever goes on and whatever goes is leaving for a reason. This is an excellent time for shadow work as well. So I'm looking at this as it's kind of like the darker side of the emotional, part of Cancer, where we may be wounded, where we may be hiding what we don't want to show, what we don't want to talk about. Emotions are potentially going to be coming out with people that you never expected to express them to. And if that's the case, get it out, be present with it, be aware of it. Let's take a look here. That's most of what I was looking at. I saw some of you guys were talking a little bit. Not everybody's talking about pot, but you guys were talking about numerology. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. And so the consciousness, when the collective consciousness is growing, I feel like a lot of people are starting to tune in and they're starting to see those repetitive numbers. And so I don't know about you guys, but I started seeing a lot of 1111s everywhere, or 1111. And then I started seeing the 222, 333. You're seeing the progression. And the one thing I would recommend is go and study up and look up some of these master numbers, but 11s, 22s, 33s. I'm seeing these not only as steps, but also where you're getting confirmation from your guides or from the universe that things are happening the way they're supposed to, that you are going in the direction that you're supposed to be going and you're following your soul mission. A lot of people say it has to do with light workers. I believe that that's true. I feel like that number has plagued me my whole life. That's my birthday. My birthday's November 11th, but I started becoming more conscious of it the past couple years. So you're going to see it a lot more if you're having a spiritual awakening or you're becoming more conscious. And as your vibration rises, you will see more, you will see more and more numerical patterns. You're going to notice that it'll go from the double and the triple digits to then I started seeing the 555 and I was like, okay, all right, I'm making the changes, to then getting in the 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm kind of in that range, and I know a lot of people who are also doing that too, and that's about taking new steps to initiating change. I am no means the guru for numerology, but I do pay attention, and I definitely always go and do my homework when I start seeing the new number sequences. I would say go and check out some of your angel numbers, and it'll give you more information specifically about those number sequences so you know what message you're getting. The more sequences you see, the aligned you are. Yeah, I would have to agree with that, but you'll see them everywhere. You'll see them on, on the clock, on your phone, on license plates, on receipts. But it's definitely trying to kind of, give you a tug and ask you to be more conscious and more aware. But now, the one thing I do want to talk about a little bit is I want to talk about pulling some cards for you guys individually. do consider taking a bath or putting something like this together, and remember that, you know, although all of this is going on, it's happening for a reason. You may be emotionally clearing house, you may be physically clearing house. It's always important to take a look at your own personal chart and see what's going on there, where you will have Cancer at 22 degrees or any other cardinal sign at 22 degrees or around there. It will definitely affect that. Take a sip of this really quick. All right, so we're now going to move into pulling a couple cards, and we're going to talk about how it's going to be affecting each and every one of the individual signs. As always, guys, it's very important for you to be listening not only for your sun sign, which would be your horoscope sign, but also your ascendant or rising and your moon. I'm sipping on tea. I like my Earl Grey tea. It's really cold here and in LA, which is kind of weird. Really cold, meaning 50 degrees. And it's kind of rainy, so I'm definitely drinking a lot of tea right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see, you guys are so sweet. We're gonna talk about Aries. Where are my Aries at? Where are you guys? Are you here? How are you guys hanging in there? It's gonna be interesting for you. You have to open up. You have to open up emotionally. You have to deal with some of the things that you guys have been holding on to. The card that I get for your full moon is, well, there it is, the Eight of Swords. Okay, remember with the Eight of Swords, this is a card that is about mentally being restrained. You're not physically restrained. You're mentally, emotionally, you know, being held down. So where can you realize there is a need for you to cut through things and acknowledge that what is in the past is in the past. You're cultivating it. You're letting it go. You're not afraid. You're taking your power back. But the other thing is, you know, what you're choosing not to see with this card, you notice that the eyes are covered. You know, what are we not acknowledging? What is it within ourselves that we may potentially be afraid of and not willing to make changes? You know, it's necessary for this. All right, Taurus. So let's go ahead and get into it and see. I'm trying to read your guys' April 23rd. I know I'm a Taurus, but I was considered Aries Taurus. If you are on a cusp, you can look at both. I will always follow the sun sign, but you are definitely going to pull on traits from both signs if you are a cusp between any two within a couple of days. So definitely consider both of what's going on in those horoscopes. Okay. Now this is for Taurus. The card that you get is, oh man, Five of Pentacles. This is following suit with what I said, you guys. This is talking about where we're afraid, where we're not wanting to let go, but also this is the what don't I have? Where am I being left high and dry? Don't play the martyr, Taurus, okay? Don't allow yourself to be in a situation where you feel like, oh, always me, everything's being taken away from me. That's not the case. That's not the case at all, because this is happening in your 12th house. So it can be unexpected conclusions and things that are coming up, but you have to remember you are being provided for. You have everything you need. You are so divinely protected and directed, and you've got the opportunity to really clear everything right now to bring you into a healthier state of mind of being. So let's get into Gemini. And the card I get is, of course, the Ace of Cups. It's kind of shiny, sorry guys. What can I say about that? Maybe perhaps you will be realizing that you have so much to be grateful for, and you have so much love and so much support, that you're really coming to terms with that, and you're really realizing what it is you need and what it is you have to give, where you can be appreciative of what's been around you and the love that's been around you. Saturn has been just totally beating you guys up with those oppositions. And the thing is that maybe perhaps part of the reason why this has been happening is helping you guys reevaluate the emotional relationships that you have. I think it's happening for both of your signs. I don't just think it's you, Gemini. I think it's happening to Sagittarius as well. So don't feel like you're getting picked on. Now we're going to move into Cancer. So Cancer, this is your moon. I feel like Cancers are so affected by the lunar cycles anyway, or any heavy fourth house placement. But can anybody guess what this card is right now? Let's just take a look. Can you guys guess what the card is for Cancer? All the Cancers get excited. Oh, my Cancers. Guys, it's the Death card. That's very appropriate. We're definitely saying goodbye. I'm gonna let it go. Don't make me play the Frozen song. I'll play it. I'm tone deaf. You guys don't want to hear me sing. But this is about what you're letting go of and what you're done with. What color is your nail polish? It's red. It's Elvira red. You need to come to terms with being okay with saying goodbye. This is a great card. Once again, I'm biased because I'm a Scorpio, but let it go. It's a 13. You know, 1 + 3 is 4. It's to build new stability. It's to provide new beginnings. Let it go. Let it go. Let this be, and know that it's bringing you something new. And I know it's hard, Cancers. I know you can be very sentimental. I know that you guys feel things very deeply. I appreciate that. I get it. But guess what? It's a new year. And whatever has been dug up in this retrograde previously is just making it so much easier for you to go snip, 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 and just totally clear things out. All right, so you guys are so cute. I'm reading your comments. Now we're gonna get into Leo. All right, Leo, especially with some of the eclipses that are going to be coming in the next month. It's certainly going to be eventful. So let's see what you need to know about the full moon prior to that. The Fool. Not only moving on, but also learning, and I feel like this is very child energy. You know, if Leo rules children, if the full moon is in the 4th house, it's how are we better guiding, maybe perhaps even parenting? How are we seeing things change and getting ready to move forward, to start also over in a positive manner, to have a very happy-go-lucky kind of view and perspective, and be open to this change, but to be excited about it and to taking it forward. Okay, all the babies are coming up now, all the mama Leos. And to not make the same mistakes, okay? This is about also being cautious. So moving forward, being cautious of what's going on, being aware, allowing yourself to have new beginnings, and sharing in that childlike state, having fun in that childlike state. Fire signs are gonna have a totally awesome year, I think, with some of these trines, and it's really allowing you to break free from some of the molds that you have been in previously. And this is like the clean slate card, like I'm on my way, I'm not even hung up. So this is amazing. Let's take a look. So now we're gonna move into Virgo. All right, let's take a look. All right. All right, Virgo, let's see what the universe has for you. The Star. I love this. I love this. So this is, I mean, what you're meditating on, what you're focused on, what you're healing. I love that aspect of healing and being able to meditate on what you're working with and how you're moving forward. I think it's totally, totally crazy that it's also talking about moving into the time of Aquarius and welcoming Aquarius energy into your life. It's definitely going to be something that's going to open up new avenues for you in terms of your healing and how you communicate that healing. Virgos, you have the opportunity here to take in the lessons that have been happening recently and apply it and heal other areas of your life. It's not going to just be one thing. So whatever's coming to a close in general right now, may help you deal with other aspects and other things in your routine, and saying goodbye to them. So now we're going to get into our Libras, those lucky Libras with Jupiter. Although you're having the squares, let's see what we've got for you. Ooh, Queen of Wands, moving and shaking. I like this a lot. And I will say this because I'm noticing with Libra that not only do we get Jupiter, I say we, that's my rising sign, so I'm trying not to be biased, but we now have a new sense of taking the initiative and moving forward with how we use that wand and what we create and what we ask for. What we want to make for ourselves. How are we directing that energy? We're directing the energy into new creative endeavors. We're directing it into new partnerships. Remember, Cancer, for you, everything that's going on, I'm not Cancer, I'm sorry, Libra. Cancer is your 10th house. So, man, look at you standing at the top of the hill and really being able to look at everything and go, look what I created. I made this. I did this. This is an excellent sign. So also powerful, very powerful in terms of manifesting and creating. So you're going to see maybe you'll be getting some recognition at this moon potentially with those squares. Who knows? You know, there could be some opposition going on and some people who may not necessarily entirely like that you've got the limelight. So be humble, guys, because whatever is going on for you that's going well right now, it's going to be continuing to manifest later this year. Scorps, where are my Scorpies? Now getting into Scorpio. Let's see what comes up for you. Oh, the sun. The sun. So yes, I like this. It's allowing you to, first of all, have illumination. I think it's funny that the sun is going to be coming up for your full moon. It's allowing you to really focus on what makes you happy. What makes you happy? You know, where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself going? I really like it is showing you the direction that you need to be following in order to be more lighthearted and to be happier and to share in your happiness and your completion. I think this is just kind of like wonderful. I don't think it gets much better than this. And probably even taking you to new places. I kind of feel like psychically this is giving you an idea of where you may be wanting to go and where you may be wanting to share something with someone else. So there's definitely, yes, if you have a lot of 8th house placements, this can apply to you as well. But this is a really good card. It's funny, I feel like we pulled this recently in another video for a Scorpio placement. So Scorpio, you guys are going to be coming a little bit more so out of the dark in this next year as we start to see Libra get further, Jupiter get further and further through Libra. A lot of happiness. And it, you know, there are positive aspects for the water signs as well in terms of the emotions. I think it's helping us kind of clear stuff out. So it's really going to help Scorpios. All right, so now we've got Sagittarius. Sag, what are we pulling here? The cards are progressively getting better. Here we go. King of Cups. King of Cups. So, as with all the court cards, it can be a man or it can be a woman coming into your life. So for Libra, I was talking to you guys about the Queen of Wands. Now we're talking about King of Cups. So this could be a water sign male, Sag. This can be you emotionally having a lot to reflect on. You emotionally kind of taking, you're taking responsibility, I think, for your emotions and where you are and how you feel and what you want, and you're owning it. You're not just, you know, the Queen of Cups may be someone who's presenting it, or the Knight, but I see the King is like, no, this is about my emotional happiness and I'm having to make changes in order to support my happiness. And man, the Saturn play that comes in with this full moon is definitely going to be something that's going to make you think about this, about where you stand and what you want. And it may be a difficult task for you to say, you know what, that doesn't make me happy. This bothers me. This makes me really emotional. And I didn't realize it until now. So here's where I stand. This is a positive card, but I think Saturn is asking you to definitely take responsibility for your emotions with this full moon. So now we get into Capricorn. Okay, Caps, are you ready? Let's take a look here. All right, 7 of Cups. I mean, I think that's expected. That's expected. Remember, you know, the confusion that comes with this card is expected, okay? Because remember, we've still got planets in Capricorn, but this moon is opposing you. It's opposing your sun. It can be confusing. Give it a day or two for the dust to settle and for it to be a little bit more clear where you're going and what you're doing. I think it's also going to present to you a number of different possibilities or a number of different arenas in your life that you're going to have to be clearing things out and you're going to have to be aware of. When we think of the 4th house in Cancer and the 10th house of Capricorn, that's our inner selves, our emotional selves, our home, and what's going on outwardly in the world. And so this is grounding you and pulling you back down and telling you, pay attention to what you need to be working on so you can better balance both of these worlds. Okay. Aquarius. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, so many court cards, guys. Aquarius, you get the Queen of Pentacles. You guys are just killing it. Aquarians are like, I'm chilling, I'm good. And that's a great thing to be having right now because it's certainly bringing you into a place where you're really grounding and you're really focusing on your grounding. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling like you need to take care of yourself. You're going to be feeling like you're taking stock in what's important to you. The Queen of Pentacles, the most evolved of all of the queens, is I'm all about my money. I'm all about taking care of myself, my health, my family, and being able to have that very Saturn energy of I'm just grounded. I'm just going to stay here and be centered. You will be you'll be centered, all right. And I do think, as of most of the other air signs, you have the opportunity to definitely have a little bit more of oomph throughout the year and not feeling as restricted maybe as some of the other signs because of where Jupiter's placement is. Also being said, this can be a woman with dark hair or an earth sign who comes in who may actually help you financially get things in order. You may be more focused on your finances. You may be more focused on your health right now. And it's showing you a lot about where you need to be doing work in those areas. And last but not least, we've got Pisces. Okay, Pisces, let's see with all of those planets there. Let's see what comes up. All right. Oh, okay. I like this. This is appropriate. High Priestess. I was gonna say the High Priestess, and it just popped up. So I love it when that happens. With all those planets in Pisces, how can it not be the High Priestess? It's definitely going to be turning your intuition on overdrive. It's definitely going to be showing you lots of visions, lots of feelings, lots of emotions. But like I said, guys, stay grounded because you don't want to get lost in these illusions. Things will become more clear as we get a little bit later into the month, just a little bit. Give it a day or two after the full moon. But this is saying, where do you know things to be true? The High Priestess, she's just so bad. She's just bad in a good way. I mean that in a good way. But she's sitting there and she's just boss. She stands between the two pillars and she does not react. Remember, she sits grounded and knows things are coming to her. She knows that she doesn't always talk about it. So perhaps the messages and the things that you're getting with this full moon, Pisces, don't jump to conclusions. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. know that whatever messages you're receiving are your insight from the universe to help you navigate these really, really, really moody, emotional, kind of dark waters. And it's a good thing. You're getting some extra guidance here. It's also going to be an extra special time for Pisces, and really, I'm going to say anyone, but more particular Pisces in the water signs, to be doing a lot of spiritual work, meditation, self-development, dream work, any of that stuff. But it's everyone. It's not just one person. Yeah, whatever your spiritual, religious beliefs are, it's to help you connect with Source. It's to help you connect with your belief systems. It's to get guidance in that way. With that being said, is there any other topics that I want to touch on? As you guys know, what I'm going to start doing here with the new moons is I'll give you the spread and be talking about the whole lunar cycle. So when we have that new moon that's going to be coming up next in Aquarius, we will be talking about what's going to be happening from that through the entire next lunar, the lunar cycle, and what's going to go on for each and every one of the individual signs. I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to you guys and chat a little bit about what we can be expecting. Like I said, stay grounded, be open your heart, working with your heart chakra, working with water therapy are one of the better things that you can be doing right now. I want to see you guys do everything you can to use this as an opportunity to clear things out and to be open to, once you've emotionally cleaned things out or cleaned house, what new things can come. I'm so excited to talk to you guys next. If you have any questions or any comments, you may leave some down below. I actually take a look at them. Sometimes I'll pop in and I'll chat. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you may do so at astrologer.com. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Happy full moon.